Hi guys, it's Hannah. I'm a 28-year-old cash budgeter and stuffer in Southern California, and this is HF Budgets. Today we're going to be budgeting out for the 4th week of January, and this week we have a little more than initially I thought I was going to have. I got paid for some dog sitting that I was doing, and so our budget this week is $525 that we're going to be stuffing into our categories. So I'll go ahead and stick that on the calculator. The first thing that we're gonna go ahead and budget out is gonna be my wallet. This stays the same every week, and it totals $175, but the breakdown for that is gonna be $60 for groceries, $60 for groceries, $40 for eating out, oh my goodness, $40 for gas, $40 for eating out, and $35 for Hannah, and that'll total $175. So we will go ahead and automatically do that. So that means we're left with $350 to stuff in my binders today. Budget to stuff in my binders today. So we're gonna go ahead and start in my brown binder here. And this is the beginning of my sinking fund, kind of a higher priority. Okay, so looking at here, we're gonna start with personal health. Personal health today. A lot of these are gonna Actually, before we start with personal health, there are going to be a few envelopes that I do want to prioritize. So I'm going to go to those first since we have a little more to budget with, and then we'll come back and do all of the kind of like lower priorities for right now. So one of them is going to be emergency. I think I want to stuff $30 in emergency to help continue build that up, because I had to use that recently earlier this month and would like to continue building that back up. So that's the only priority in that binder that I would like to stuff. A few other priorities I would like to stuff. I do want to do a bigger Costco haul, so I think I'm going to put 20 in Costco. H Mart's fully funded, don't need to worry about that. I did use some of my personal spending money this past week to get a new pillow, and so super excited for that. I got it at Costco, pulled it out of my personal spending since it wasn't necessarily food related, and it was on sale, so I wanted to grab it before that ended. And then next is going to be travel. I do want to add, I stayed within the budget that I had for when I went on my weekend trip last weekend. So I want to continue building this up because the next trip that I have is in April, and that is for a wedding in Hawaii, and then I have a big trip coming up in May. So we're going to go ahead and add $60 into travel. That is a priority, and then I don't need anything in Hannah. I might want to bump up clothing to start thinking about that. Yeah, so I want to put 20 into clothing. Okay, so those are kind of the bigger bumps that I want to make this week with that. Kind of dispersed between some fun things, and then emergency and Costco are kind of necessities. But okay, now going back to personal health. Oops, let me subtract that from the calculator. I'm pretty sure that was, I didn't do the 60 and I didn't do the 20. Let me just in case. So we have 525 minus 175 for my wallet, minus 30, 20, 60, 20. Okay, so we're at 220. So looking at this first section here, personal health today is gonna get 5. Household is also gonna get 5. Skincare is gonna get 5 as well. Emergency we did. Christmas will get its usual 5. And then car maintenance will also get 5. And then new car doesn't get stuffed, and nothing to put in my credit card for right now. We will pull new car at the end of the month, and I will go ahead and put that towards an extra payment for my car note. So going into our next section here, Costco we've already taken care of. H Mart is fully funded at 50. Friends, we are going to add, we'll add $10 into Friends this week. Personal spending will get 5. Savings will get 5. Travel we've done. Looking at our last section here in our sinking funds, Hannah is going to get 5 today. Did I see a 50? Man, we are struggling. I'm so sorry. Figured it all out. We have 170 left to continue budgeting. So we put 5 into Hannah. We've already done clothing. Going into gifts. Gifts today is going to get 5. I think the rest of these categories are going to get 5. 30, Flirty and Thriving is going to get 5. Shop Small, aka budgeting items, is going to get 5. Disney spending is going to get 5. Tech. Invest. And Extra Alley is also going to get 5. And I think I messed up on the calendar yet again. So we have 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. I am an absolute catastrophe today. But that is okay, because we are still doing this and we are still growing. Okay, let me double check. What did I do wrong? Okay, so that does look correct. That is a lot to take into savings challenges. So I'm gonna bump up a few more of these higher priorities, or like my first kind of like staple. So I'm gonna go ahead and bump household and add 5 to that. And then I don't need anything. Let me see what. Okay, so personal health, I think is okay. I don't need anything in that for a while. Household we bumped up, and we're adding 10. Skincare is looking good. Emergency we did. Christmas isn't for a while. And we're gonna also bump up car maintenance. Okay. Okay, so we're taking 125 into our savings challenges. So right off the bat, we're gonna subtract 30 for our Monday video, which leaves $95 to put in the rest of my savings challenges. So we're gonna go ahead and first do the ones that, we're first gonna do this mini roll and save. So it's a mini savings. I'm using it as a roll and save. This is initially from Budgeting with Chloe. She did a rebrand, now is Bare Bones Collective, and how I've been using this is I will be rolling a d6, and whatever number it lands on is how many squares I'm going to be stuffing. So this week we're going to do 4 squares, which will be a total of $8. So Turtle is going to get 8. Subtract the 8. We can stick this one back in. Next we're going to complete a few. So we're going to complete this Ride or Die Savings Challenge. I only have one more space. This is also from Budgeting with Chloe, who is now Bare Bones Collective. But I have one more $10 space on here, so I'm going to go ahead and finish that challenge this week. And this Ride or Die Savings Challenges is going towards travel. So that'll be a nice bump to help continue saving for travel. Okay, and I think those two are kind of where I wanted to start. So now we can continue on. So we're gonna go to this Disney Icons challenge by budgeting with Amanda. I am working on the glass slipper. I think I have this one and then one more to go. So we're gonna go ahead and knock out another 10 on this one today. And budget that. And then we'll come back to the envelopes. But I do have a good chunk of money to still budget, so I would like to do one of these higher numbers here. And I think this week we're gonna go ahead and knock out that 24. So we will knock out 24 on our pizza. This challenge I'm using for an emergency savings. It's from MikaelaCreationsCo over on Etsy. This challenge I believe was discontinued as it is a 2025 challenge, but I'm using it just as an emergency savings. Okay, looking at our Spongebob challenge here, let's go ahead and knock out the 5, maybe let's do 7. We'll do a 5 and a 2. Did that separately, but that is okay. To knock out 2 more numbers on there. That is from budgeting my debts over on Kofi. I did get this from free over on their Kofi. So if you're interested, go check it out. The Powerpuff Girls challenge will be stuffed when I actually do my cash stuffing, as it comes from my personal spending from my wallet to kind of bump up savings. We went ahead and did the mini challenge. We are going to complete both of these January month challenges. So this first one is from Buttercup Budgets over on Kofi. It's a year-long challenge, and so we're going to be completing January. And so I made each disco ball $1, so we're going to do 7 in Buttercup to finish that last row. And then our second yearly challenge that we're doing is from Budget with Amanda over on Kofi. Both of these were free Kofi downloads, and so we'll finish the last 2 numbers, which equal 5. That. And then we'll jump into our chicken savings challenge. This is a free Kofi download over on Ellie on Earth. And today, let's go ahead. What's our biggest number? So our biggest number is 4. Let's go ahead and knock out a 4 and a 3 and do 7 here. And then next we have this Rugrats challenge that's going to be going towards my investment account. This was from Oh Mama Budgets. She's no longer doing, she no longer has her Etsy up, but I got these in kind of one of her closeout sales. And I absolutely love it. It's very nostalgic. So we have $17 left and 2 to stuff. So let's knock out, see if we can knock out a big number. So let's do the 6 and the 4 for 10. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Or do we want to finish this? That would be I think I want to finish this, because we only have those 3 numbers. Yeah, so we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're going to do that because I have been working on this one for a while, and I would love to put that towards investing and get that growing now. So that means our last challenge here is going to be this envelope challenge. I got this in a book called Cash Dash. I will go ahead and link it below. It's over on Amazon. We're going to go ahead and put $3 in here today. The way that I'm doing this one is I am taking the money, leftover money from my wallet, so any rollover that I have, and adding it to whatever I budget for the week. This challenge is no longer going towards the flights. I should honestly just change this. It's no longer going towards our flights, so we're actually so I'm gonna cross out flights on both of these, but they're gonna be going towards our like stay and spending. My hope is to do this twice. So this first round, I'm going to be doing it for Italy. These dates also have kind of changed. I don't really have a deadline. I guess Italy would be, I don't really have it. I'll do May. May for Italy, and then Japan is October. So might have this for a while, but I do really like the envelope challenge. And so I will go ahead and do the 3 and then whatever I have from my weekly rollover to stuff into here. All right, well that concludes all of the money that I have to budget. This should add up to 125. So let's just go ahead and make sure that that is the case. 8, 7, 5, 7, 14, and 30. So this will be 125, which means I should have a total of 0 after I subtract all of my budgeting from what we had to start with. But yeah, apologies, that was a little chaotic, but it is okay. We figured it out, got to pump up a few different sinking funds, which is very exciting. So very grateful that I was able to have a little extra to budget this week due to some side income. Not the norm, but definitely appreciate when it happens. So yeah, that is all. I will see you guys on Saturday for our weekly stuffing. Have a great one.